Number 2, it will be Doran, now 500 points. He has secured 5 POGs. See the vote here, 10 out of 13. We did have 1 vote for the mid lane, and actually 2 for the jungle.
He had good sweeps.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good redemption game.
A nod to that one is
there it is again.
3 in a row.
3 in a row, and it does feel like it's glaring at us as this pick that is her passive and how it works with the dash. So that's where they're going, and that's one of the things that you can do here as Gen G is go, oh yeah, well you're going to take my LeBlanc, but I'm going to have the answer and see the Trundle come through, the Jax come on top of you. You could Wild Growth, but we're going to take the Alistar route, which can also knock away the Jax or Trundle when they're trying to set up for these engages.
First is Closer and Chovy fighting one another. Good little stun there as the flash is going to be traded immediately. Chains connect as Croco puts down the pillar. Chovy, there are no other options, and Croco looking to try and get in here. There's the chomp, and that's the first blood.
For the time being, so we're going to watch this one more time. So Chovy gets the initial fear, but Closer flashes to make sure that he can tether onto Chovy here. Gets the root, and Chovy also flashed, but too bad, you got rooted.
Yeah. And the chain connecting there was actually really, really close. The Croco taking the long way around is going to be unseen for now.
No flash.
He does have the fear charged up. He was saving it, as you can see right there, for Croco. Now trying to fight against Closer as Young Jay. He's over to the side as well. As, yeah, that is not the real one. Hoover through these camps. And so Gen G arguably in a better spot than they were this time last game. Although Dove finds a very nice counter-strike onto Doran, but he's level 6. And no, ult still available for Doran, but redeem himself from that game number 1 is now Chovy going to flash once again. Q connects
to be up this far, and they know now the Nautilus is there. Nice, you've got to get out of here.
Yeah.
He realizes it, but it might be too late.
Yep, there is the flash.
Good flash.
Oh, doesn't manage to get the follow flash onto Ice, unfortunately.
This late into the fight, and they're just not going to pull it off.
That went down extraordinarily fast. It's a little bit split as Liv Sandbox. Closer off to the side though, as there's the Crescent Guard. Young Jay being a great front line as Doran doesn't have to ult just yet. The Vex locks down the Jax though, and Dove not going to be able to offer anything right here. Doran will have the Q available, so he's going to survive. There's the flash, and Croco just munches down on the cow. Delicious steak is going to be there, and now Ice looks for the kill, but Doran does get the flash away. Chovy trying to get underneath his turret as well as the pillar.
For them, yeah, I think if the gold goes anywhere else, I'd say this is a big win for Liv Sandbox because Ice is able to pick up this gold. His positioning is very good in this fight. The ultimate, not the best out of him, but Doran is just not able to finish him off. The Undying Rage is used here, so he can actually get on top of Ice again, but he can't get that kill. Yeah. And even though it's not the greatest dredge line here, Ice is just happy to continue to chase forward, and there's just no recourse here, unfortunately, anymore. Vex is not a damage throughput champion. She's a fearer, she does a lot of burst, and then once that part's over, she's on.
Battle plan as Liv Sandbox think they might have found Ruler here. Gale forces his way to relative safety. Kale is grab this one, and you really are feeling this tempo shift.
Yeah, it's
that team fight came in.
It's massive because now Liv Sandbox just have so much map control. They can walk up to this turret and say that's mine. They can drop this Herald in and get a second charge because there's nothing Gen G can realistically do to stop it.
Pillar is such high value against anyone that's melee. And Doran doesn't quite have the lowest cooldown on that spin just yet. Chain comes in and the cow is just taken for a walk all the way to the death chamber. Not what you want. As now Liv Sandbox taking a bit of damage from Chovy as the Q is going to connect. They find the fear onto Ice, who stepped a little bit too far forward. Chovy locks it down in the end. The Undying Rage is going to be there to keep Doran alive as they dive forward. Oh my god, Ruler! That damage is filthy. Shadow Surge doesn't find Closer, but the damage has been done.
Yeah, fortunately for them, there's no Drake to take right now. There's no major objective, but this does put a lot of gold back into their pockets. Notice the engage here for Chovy. He's rooted, and then he goes back in here on top of Ice.
Yeah, and Kale gets so much value as well with that depth charge, getting so many knockups, dredge lining as well, but it was this re-engage. And so difficult.
If the block is there from anybody on Liv Sandbox, Croco, it doesn't matter, then Ice escapes here, and then this choke point, the fight could look totally different, but the fact is, Zeri goes down.
How many ults did Chovy throw out? Like 17? Oh, it's crazy. Like he's in danger, but there's 3 members. Great dredge line is going to connect there as Young Jay trying to get away from this pillar. Doran in that front line does have the Undying Rage available. Teleport from Closer is fantastic for both of these teams. Attack speed just very strong as the fear comes in onto Dove. Counter-strike now on cooldown. Good double knock up there from Losper as he gets right in. 2 kills already for Gen G, and they are starting to snowball this game. Croco underneath this turret, but he's going to get pulverized, and I mean that in so many different ways. Closer is going to be able to lock down Doran, but the ultimate used keeps him alive anyway.
Great in terms of what you could do to peel, but this was just a straight-up punish. Liv Sandbox think they're the ones springing the trap, but it's actually Gen G who cuts Dove's health bar low. The counter-strike is burned early, and look at the Alistair knock-up here. Now, Ruler, yes, he takes a ton of damage, but is getting everybody low while Chovy hits a major fear on the right side of the fight. It's 2 fights on 2 fronts that Gen G win both sides of, as Liv Sandbox are just starting to look, once again, a little disjointed.
Yeah, and I like the Doran ult, as Croco's going to get crit in the back. And Young Jay is actually going to start this one up. I'm not sure what we're fighting for, but we're fighting anyway. The pillar comes in, and Closer is going to be able to put the chain onto Doran, but
he's a ways away from it. Just got his zeal and a stopwatch right now for survivability.
Yep. 25 seconds here is, that's a pretty aggressive teleport. Just whirls his way out. He should be fine. Oh, that was so close to Croco actually locking that one up as Crescent Guard on cooldown now. Gen G losing a big tool for this next fight as Liv Sandbox closing in. There's the flash forward, perfect timing, but the Unbreakable Will is going to be there. Great 4-man knock-up immediately into Ruler, doing so much damage. And yes, Liv Sandbox getting some work done as well, but Ruler still has full health. It's insane, this guy just tears them up. Gen G will now take the soul point, or the soul, I should say.
Doesn't matter what you want to say about Lospa in Game 1, he has looked fantastic on the Alistair in this game. And this is just beautiful play. Now, it starts off pretty decently here for Liv Sandbox. They've got Dove in a nice angle. The dredge line on the Young Jay forces out Crescent Guard early, so they don't have that disengage tool. But look at Lospa. No vision on him here in this brush. And he's just going to go straight into this. The second they have an opportunity, he ults. And then bam, headbutts into the 4-man knockup, and the Moonlight Vigil is free for Ruler, who's, like you said, at full health, carrying this fight.
Yeah, just unfazed by anything. Chovy as well finds all of the resets in the backline, and Gen G mopped the floor with it. Really cleanly done as, okay, Liv Sandbox looking for their opportunity here as Undying Rage is going to be there for Doran. Waits until the last second. Croco should be dead. Yep, he's able to pick that one up. Now Lospa might die, but no, Chovy gets a fear, and that is a very scared Big Daddy. Gonna go down, and now Closer not gonna find the chains onto Doran, who's now chasing after him. Oh man, Hextech Soul with a Tryndamere is not a thing you want to be facing.
Taken on the top side, he's not able to push it all the way. Dove is not. As Chovy gets a little bit caught.
Depth charge coming on in here as let's see whether Chovy's gonna survive. Great fear, flashes out, and now Chovy just
looking for the ult.
Yeah, wanted to come back in.
Ruler's
rotating down. Is Ruler ganking them? That's another dredge line that's going to connect. Decent beam is going to come through as the Moonlight Vigil comes down. Kale's real dead. The Ignite, cool guys don't look at explosions, and Lospa has been a cool guy today. Croco now on top of Chovy, but Ruler is killing the rest of the team, and Croco can't get on top of this Vex that's being so frustrating. And it feels like Liv Sandbox know that this is the beginning of the end. A big old thumbs up to go over to Croco as that wind becomes lightning. Went the wrong direction, but he had no vision. And there it is, Doran, Gale forcing on top of Closer. Closer playing with him just a little bit here as Doran. Okay, yeah, his ultimate's on cooldown, so that's
hope of flipping this game back around. I'm going to go back to this attempt to use the Hextech portal to actually find a pick here. But it's Doran on a Tryndamere, and I think that looking for this even with a 3-man is just asking too much. Like, best case scenario, you're going to get Doran's ult, but worst case scenario, everybody from Gen G just walks over during the interim and turns this into another one-team fight, and the rest of the map control all the turrets that go down after this. It was an ill-fated call, but it looks like we've had so many of these moments for Liv Sandbox in games 2 and 3 where they're just so desperate. And the call seems reasonable and it seems hopeful if you can pull it off, but you can't pull it off. And you're just giving Gen G the push across the finish line, unfortunately, with some of these moves. But, I mean, this game is...
Second one short to follow. As, oh man, this Hex Soul is just crazy.
It's insane how strong it is, especially with the Aphelios.
closer. There are a couple of versions of him, but the real one is at slightly higher health as he dives forward. Unbreakable Will there on Losper as Moonlight Vigil comes down. Ice is able to take down the cow, and now Chovy thinks that it is his opportunity. He goes golden, Youngjae dives in, Doran doing the same thing as Chovy wants these resets, but doesn't quite get them, and now Doran, remember, the Fountain Laser is immune to your ult, so don't dive onto that one. He is also going to be taken down there by Croco, but Genji, I think, should be able to take these Nexus turrets regardless. Ruler is still alive, Chovy's still alive, they have the damage. There's the knock-up onto Croco. They do lose Youngjae. Croco gets a little bit scared, but he can't be. He needs to try and defend this Nexus, and Ruler just needs a few auto attacks. Great sidestep there, as Ruler's just had a brilliant series here, saving it for Genji. And Genji turn it around after a loss in Game 1 and finish off Game 3.
The counter pick Vex for the LeBlanc. You know, you take the LeBlanc away from Chovy, he's not going to take Lissandra. He's going to take the flashy Vex. He's going to take the one that can express all of his skills, his capabilities, the resets, and Lister working together with Ruler, and it works out so well. in that critical moment.
Yep. Let's have a listen to Genji as they close this one out.
Zeri's solo, and Chovy's pulse. He's going for her, picks her up. No flash.
Nautilus, yep.
Yeah, or actually Nautilus. I thought you were saying no pur, and I was like, well, who has no flash? He was saying no pur. And this fight. After the turrets. Calling out Trundle has no flash.
Yep. Trundle does have a mouth though, so can bite down and does manage to get the kill off.
He pulls the super minion in super well too.
Yeah, Youngjae's like, please kill the Nexus, please.
Chovy, you know, you said at the end it looks like another day at the office, but you could see it has a big sigh of relief after that win here. 36,000 damage this game.
That is a damage gap right there. I think that if it's a Chovy player of the game, I'd be okay with it.
Pick it up. It will be Chovy to the surprise of nobody. Only at 1,146 damage per minute.
On Vex. This is it's not quirky, guys. Like, I know we're used to seeing these stats.
By Chovy. So I believe we do have the interview here in just a moment, but 10 out of 13 as we do get 3 votes for Ruler. I think that's totally fair. I think absolutely